Jack and Jill. Once in the jungles of the Sundarbans, there lived twin rabbits, Jack and Jill. Jack was a boy and Jill was a girl. Jack was as fair as milk, and Jill was as dark as the moonless night. Their herd of loyal friends included Bill, the bumpy tortoise, Piggy, the Humpty Dumpty piglet, and Rosie, the rolling squirrel. They all were of different shapes, sizes, and colors. But nobody was as dark as Jill. Everyone liked Jack more because of his milky skin, and Jill less because of her black skin. Everyone, including her brother Jack, made fun of her. Jill was brave and intelligent. She never fought back when anyone made fun of her because she remembered what her mother had told her. Her mother used to say, "Nature has made everyone's body. We all are different and it is okay to be so." It was a cool autumn night and the sun had already set. The full moon shone brightly. The herd of loyal friends took shelter under an old wise banyan tree that stood tall on a mound. The tree was a friend of Jack and Jill's mother. Everyone in the herd was tired. Soon they fell asleep. But Jill was still awake. She was gazing at the radiant full moon. After a while, she too closed her eyes. Suddenly, she heard a noise. It sounded like the howling of some hungry dogs. She could make out that a pack of hungry dogs was nearby. She alerted everyone. They were terrified. Soon the hungry dogs came and surrounded the herd. But the dogs could not see them, as they had hidden under the fallen leaves of the banyan tree. Jill asked the banyan tree for help. The tree said,
"My leaves will not be able to save your lives. The dogs will soon begin to sniff and follow their noses. It is only a matter of time before the dogs will find you. There is a burrow across the mound that your mother dug for an emergency like this. If only you could somehow reach there without being seen. You all will be safe in the depths of the burrow."
Everyone was in a fix. There was no way to cross the mound without getting seen by the dogs. But Jill had a plan. She knew that though the moon was bright and full, it would be tough for the dogs to see her because of her dark skin. Meanwhile, the dogs had begun to sniff. Jill quickly sprung out in the open and waved at them, yelling,
"Hey, you bunch of puppies! Catch me if you can!"
She had got the dogs' attention. They charged at her. Brave Jill ran away from the mound as fast as she could. It was indeed a matter of life and death for her herd. While she was running, she kept on yelling at the dogs. They could not see her, but they kept following her voice. And so the great chase between the hunters and the prey began under the full moon. Meanwhile, everyone quietly slipped across the mound one by one. They buried themselves safely in the depths of the burrow. The rolling squirrel was the first to enter. and the bumpy tortoise was the last. But what about Jill? She was still out there in the open, facing the hungry pack of dogs all by herself. Her herd was worried about her. They could still, though faintly, hear Jill yelling at the dogs now and then. But after a while, they could not hear the dogs. The yelling had stopped. After a while, the barking also stopped. All they could hear now were their deep breaths. Sorrow gripped the herd. Everyone felt guilty. Jack felt ashamed of bullying his sister. Suddenly, they heard Jill's voice loud and clear.
Hey everybody, are you all okay?
There she was, difficult for everyone to see because of her dark skin. But nobody could miss her radiant smile. We should not be ashamed of any part of our body or the color of our skin.